So in the state of New Jersey, divorce proceedings start by one party filing a complaint for divorce and serving it on the other party. That other spouse will then file an answer or a counterclaim for divorce, and that really starts the proceedings going. As to how long a divorce can take in New Jersey, it really depends on the particular facts of your case. For example, if it's a mutually agreed upon divorce and you guys figure it out, all the major themes, for example, there's no major dispute as to who will have physical custody of the children, who will get what, it can be very fast. Specifically, if you retain an attorney and that can work with your other spouse or your other spouse's attorney and enter in what's called a marriage settlement agreement, it can take as little as 6 weeks, especially depending on how quickly your particular county is processing these divorces. However, if your case is extremely acrimonious, extremely hostile, it can take a year or two. It really depends on what motions are being filed. If your other spouse has an attorney that's filing for specific requests, a judge has to hear each and every request made by one party. And that can cause more hearings. If there's just simply no agreement as to the division of marital assets, that can trigger the need for an economic settlement panel or mediators to come in and help sort things. And so those steps take additional time and will prolong your divorce, unfortunately. So in New Jersey, a divorce proceeding starts with one party filing a complaint for divorce. Now, there's certain jurisdictional requirements for that. Typically, for example, in a no-fault case, there needs to have been a period of irreconcilable differences and a breakdown of the marriage that has lasted 6 months prior to the filing of the divorce. After that, and your spouse is properly served with that complaint, they have an opportunity to respond, and the court will give them a set period. Typically, it's 30 days. They will respond with an answer or a counterclaim if they have additional requests that they're making during this time, after which the court will start scheduling hearings. One type of hearing that the court will commonly schedule is what's called a case management conference. There, a judge will set a schedule for certain things to happen, such as discovery, which means the court will give time for one spouse to solicit certain documents, typically of the financial variety, from the other spouse. The court will also set time for interrogatories, which are a series of questions, as well as a request for production of documents to be made. The court can then also go ahead and schedule a hearing for an economic settlement panel, which means a group of attorneys that are trained and certified will look over all of your financial documents and help sort of establish what a judge might rule in this case in order to induce a settlement quicker. It's the goal of the New Jersey courts to move these divorces as quickly as possible and make sure that fairness and equity are maintained. In New Jersey, certain documents are necessary fairly on in the beginning of the proceedings, especially if couples have children. Certain documents, such as insurance documents, as well as children's birth certificates, are important. Later on in the proceedings, couples will have to share income taxes with one another. Specifically, this is in the case where you're filing as married but filing separately. Couples will have to be financially transparent with one another. So any financial documents such as pay stubs, W-2s, tax returns, bank account statements are all necessary to get the ball rolling and get you to the equitable distribution stage as quickly as possible. Later on, certain things such as insurance, any life insurance documents might be important if those things are something that the couple has together and is wanting the court to equitably distribute. So mediation in New Jersey is whereby a third-party neutral, typically an attorney with a set of credentials who's been certified as a mediator, will help a couple that's divorcing essentially iron out major themes in their proceedings, such as child custody, such as the distribution of assets, and so on. And this is part of New Jersey's commitment to alternate dispute resolutions, meaning New Jersey wants divorcing couples to essentially work together in a collaborative way to iron out these issues before engaging in extended litigation. And this is to preserve any family unity that remains for the sake of the children. This is to keep litigation costs down, so those funds can instead of being paid to attorneys, be paid to the upkeep of children or to the spouse and for alimony, and just generally to speed things up along. If you have questions as to what to expect in the New Jersey court process, please do give us a call at Next Chapter Family Law. We're here and we're happy to help any and all questions that you may have.